You know what happens when an individual can't do his prison time? Well, sometimes he tries to end it. That happens in prison. The rates are up. They're not talking about it. They seldom do. And when I say end it, you know exactly what I mean. And this is a story about what happens when somebody's mind cannot process the thought that they have to do X amount of years, sometimes decades, inside of a harsh environment that's nothing but concrete and steel, where officers that are oftentimes ill-equipped are telling you what to do 24/7. You have no options or choice in the matter, and you just have to deal with it. You have to rest in rooms that are 6x9 with nothing more than a toilet and somebody you would never associate yourself with in the first place. You will never see your family again as a free man for some, and if you do, it'll be in handcuffs and nothing more inside of a visitation room monitored. That is no way to live. You will call your people on the phone and they will say GTL, 60 seconds. It'll be trauma there. There's trauma everywhere in prison, and some of us thug our way through it. Some of us is chin up, chest out, whatever come our way, we soldiering it, we frontline, and some of us, we just can't. And when I was at the jail, there was an individual, and I'm not going to sit here and say he was innocent, he didn't deserve time or none of that, because I will tell you monsters exist, but this story will illustrate the point. This gentleman was charged with unaliving the person that he loved, his girlfriend or fiance, the person he was with. And the story that he gave us one night when we were playing cards at the card table was that he was wrestling with her, playing around. He had did a move on her, a DDT, and she laid there, and he laid down and went to sleep. He said they were drunk, wrestling, playing around, and we woke up the next morning. She was blue. She was gone. And I'm not here to be the judge or tell you what happened, my idea on the story, none of that. But what I'm going to tell you is he would be often seen walking around the dorm depressed, sad, just trying to figure out what he was going to do, talking to the guys, all that. And then his court date came. And I remember he was nervous because he had said something to us. He said, man, I'm getting ready to go to court, and I know I deserve the time, but I just don't know, because there was more to the story that we found out later. But anyways, when he came back from court, he seemed okay. They only gave him 10 years. And again, I'm not the judge. I'm not here to tell you what I think about a wrestling move. They gave him 10 years. Less than me, might I add, when I was the driver in a crime that involved a weapon that wasn't real. But anyways, this is the justice system. Cell break happened. We were playing cards on the bottom tier, and he said, man, I got 10 years. He said, I'm doing all right. We were like, that's what's up, man. You can get through this. You know, we just trying to be optimistic in that environment, supportive, whatever it is. And he went up to his cell while we were still playing cards. And next thing you know, you hear something do boom. And it's metal rails on the second floor of the pod that I'm in. And if anybody's done time, if somebody hits the rails in a pod, you kind of hear, you're used to that sound. It's a thumping sound, if you will. And when we heard that sound, what happens next is anytime you're locked up in confinement, a pod, a jail, a prison, you look. You may not stare because that's against protocol, but you're going to look, make sure you're good, your people good. And when we looked up, because we heard the sound, it caused us to look up. What we seen was 2 feet dangling. He went up there, he tied a sheet, and he jumped over the rail, because he no longer wanted to be here. And our response, while the CO was scared, screaming, trying to hit for his walkie-talkie, oh my goodness, cold, we grabbed his feet and we pushed him back over the rail. Now, some of you going to say that wasn't up to you. You should have let that man do whatever, because that actually got thrown at me one time when I was in the jail. But in my mind, he was in a desperate moment. I can't, and nor will I, is it up to me to think about what he was in there for, what he weren't in there for. I just seen somebody with their feet dangling, and this would not be the last time, by the way. And me and the brothers that were down there, when we pushed him back up, 2 of the brothers ran up there before the guards could, took the sheet off of the thing that it was tied to, off around his neck, and made sure he was good until medical staff got here. He was not okay, but he made it through. And the thing is, we know what the truth was. He couldn't process the time. There's no other reason that you're going to do that. You know, and he, sure enough, sent a kite back thanking us weeks later when he finally, I guess, got well enough or whatever was going on, because he got injured. And you can, if you've ever seen something or something similar, you know injuries at least are sustained. He sent the kite and he said, I couldn't think that I didn't think I could survive the 10 years. And I got to thinking about my girl and all that. Mental illness is real. The rates for people unaliving themselves is real. Again, if you're one of those people that be like, oh, they just prisoners, fine, I get it, whatever. I'm not here to try to convince you, but I am going to tell you it's a humanity thing, man. Everybody in prison isn't somebody that did some like devious, evil, like underling work or none of that. Like there's sometimes people in there that just made a bad choice in 30 seconds, you know, and now everything's out of whack, you know, just all the way out of whack. You don't want to find yourself in there. And I will continue to say, if you are in there or you're coming home from there, get help, get processed. We've seen trauma while we were in prison. It's real. It's not a game. There's nothing wrong with going to a therapist, a support group, having a conversation with people, because we've seen people. I've seen so much. I'm going to keep telling the stories. And that's just one of them. And again, that was just one example. I got one from a guy that got caught in the barbed wire trying to do something similar, believe it or not, on the boulevard, man. Prison is a very harsh place. Stay free.